The path through a lavender field. Part 1. The beginning of the path. The day grows soft around you. Light fades slowly from gold to amber, then to the palest violet. Before you stretches a narrow path, worn smooth by countless footsteps over many years. On both sides, lavender plants rise in perfect rows, their purple flowers nodding gently in the evening breeze. You begin to walk. The path leads forward through the fields, and you follow it without hurry. There exists no need to rush. The air carries the scent of lavender, sweet, clean, calming. This fragrance surrounds you like a soft blanket. Each breath brings the perfume deeper into your lungs, and with each breath, your shoulders drop a little lower. Tension melts away. The lavender plants stand in rows that seem to stretch forever. Each plant reaches upward, covered in tiny purple blooms. The flowers cluster along tall stems, and these stems sway together when the wind moves through them. The motion creates a rippling effect, like waves on a purple ocean. You watch the waves move across the field, and your eyes grow heavy. Above you, the sky transforms. Blue gives way to pink, then to soft orange, then to deep violet. The sun sinks toward the western horizon, painting everything in warm, gentle colors. The lavender fields glow in this light. The purple flowers seem to hold the sunlight within them, radiating a soft luminescence even as darkness approaches. You continue walking. The path curves slightly, winding through the endless rows of plants. Your feet make almost no sound on the packed earth. Behind you, your footprints mark the ground, but ahead, the path remains smooth and inviting. The fields extend in all directions, creating a world made entirely of purple blooms and fading light. Lavender has grown in these fields for many generations. People planted the first bushes here long ago, when the world moved more slowly. They chose this location carefully. Lavender loves the sun. It thrives in warm climates where water drains well from the soil. The plants need little rain once their roots grow strong. They prefer dry conditions, rocky ground, and long hours of sunshine. The farmers who first cultivated lavender learned these preferences through patient observation. They watched wild lavender growing on hillsides in Mediterranean lands. They saw how the plants flourished in poor soil that other crops rejected. They noticed how lavender survived hot summers without complaint, its roots reaching deep into the earth to find moisture. These early farmers began to gather lavender from wild places. They brought the plants to their own fields. They planted them in rows, creating the first lavender gardens. The practice spread slowly across southern Europe, from one valley to the next, from one generation to the following one. In Provence, a region in southern France, lavender farming became a tradition that defined the landscape. Families passed down their knowledge of lavender cultivation from parent to child. They learned the best times to plant, the proper methods of pruning, the ideal moment for harvest. This wisdom accumulated over centuries, growing richer with each passing year. The fields around you now reflect this ancient knowledge. Each plant grows at the perfect distance from its neighbors. The rows follow the natural contours of the land. Everything demonstrates care and attention. The farmers who tend these fields honor the traditions of their ancestors while adapting to the present moment. As you walk, the scent of lavender grows stronger. The fragrance contains many layers. At first, you notice only sweetness, but as you breathe more deeply, other notes emerge. There exists a hint of camphor, sharp and clean. There exists a touch of earthiness, like fresh soil after rain. There exists a floral sweetness, delicate and soothing. This complex aroma comes from the essential oils contained in the lavender flowers. Tiny glands on the surface of each bloom produce and store these oils. When the sun warms the plants during the day, the oils begin to evaporate, releasing their fragrance into the air. As evening arrives and the temperature drops, the evaporation slows, but the scent remains suspended in the still air. Your body responds to this fragrance. Scientists have studied this response. They have discovered that certain compounds in lavender oil interact with receptors in your nose. These receptors send signals to your brain, specifically to areas that regulate emotion and stress. The signals tell your nervous system to relax. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing deepens. Your muscles release their tension. This effect occurs naturally, without any effort on your part. Simply walking through the lavender fields allows your body to enter a state of calm. The scent works like a gentle medicine, easing away the stress and worry of the day. Ancient peoples knew this truth long before scientists could explain it. They used lavender to soothe anxious minds and promote restful sleep. The path continues forward and you follow it. On either side, the lavender plants create walls of purple blooms. These walls rise to the height of your waist, dense and soft-looking. If you were to reach out and brush your hand across the tops of the flowers, they would feel slightly rough, like soft velvet. The stems bend easily under your touch but spring back immediately when you move on. Small insects still move among the flowers, though their activity decreases as darkness approaches. Bees work these fields all day, moving from bloom to bloom, collecting nectar and pollen. Now they return to their hives, their work complete. A few late butterflies drift past you, their wings catching the last rays of sunlight. They seem to float rather than fly, moving in lazy circles above the purple rose. Birds call from distant trees at the edge of the fields. Their songs sound different now than they did at midday. The urgent, territorial calls of morning have given way to softer, more melodic notes. These evening songs serve as lullabies, both for the birds themselves and for all who hear them. The sounds blend with the whisper of wind through lavender stems, creating a peaceful symphony. The light continues to fade. The sun touches the horizon, a brilliant orange sphere that seems to balance on the edge of the world. As it sinks lower, the colors in the sky intensify. Bands of red, orange, pink, and purple stretch across the heavens. The clouds catch fire with reflected light, glowing like embers. The lavender fields below mirror these colors, their purple blooms turning deep crimson in the sunset. You pause for a moment to watch this display. Standing still among the lavender, you feel the day releasing its hold on you. All the activities, all the conversations, all the small worries that occupied your mind, they begin to drift away like smoke on the wind. What remains feels simpler, quieter, more essential. The ancient Romans knew about lavender. They gave the plant its name, which comes from the Latin word laver, meaning to wash. Romans added lavender to their bath water, believing it purified both body and spirit. They scattered lavender flowers on the floors of their homes, so that walking crushed the blooms and released their fragrance. They wove lavender into garlands and wore them during festivals. Roman soldiers carried lavender with them on long campaigns. They used it to clean wounds, having observed that lavender seemed to prevent infection. They bathed in water infused with lavender to ease the pain of tired muscles. They burned lavender in their camps at night, finding that its smoke kept insects away and promoted peaceful sleep. When Roman armies marched north into lands that would become France, Spain, and England, they brought lavender with them. They planted it near their fortifications and settlements. After the Roman Empire fell, these lavender plants remained, spreading slowly into the surrounding countryside. Local populations discovered the plants and adopted them for their own use. Medieval monks cultivated lavender in monastery gardens throughout Europe. They grew it alongside other medicinal herbs, creating gardens dedicated to healing. These monks studied the properties of each plant carefully, recording their observations in manuscripts that would be copied and preserved for future generations. The monks used lavender in many ways. They made infusions by steeping the flowers in hot water, creating a tea that calmed nervous disorders and helped with sleeplessness. They pressed the flowers to extract their oil, which they mixed with other ingredients to create ointments for burns and wounds. They dried bundles of lavender and hung them in sick rooms, believing the scent drove away disease. These practices spread from the monasteries to ordinary villages. People began growing lavender in their own gardens. They learned to harvest the flowers at the right moment, just as the buds opened fully into blooms, when the oil content reached its peak. They learned to dry the harvested lavender slowly in shaded areas, preserving both color and fragrance. Women wove dried lavender into small sachets, which they tucked into drawers and chests to keep linens fresh and free from moths. They placed lavender under pillows to encourage dreams and deep sleep. They added lavender to washing water, continuing the Roman tradition. They made lavender water by distilling the flowers, creating a fragrant liquid used for everything from cooling fevered brows to refreshing rooms. The path before you curves again, leading you deeper into the heart of the fields. The rows of lavender seem to go on forever in every direction. The repetition soothes your mind. Each plant resembles the next, creating a pattern that your eyes follow easily. This visual rhythm lulls you into a peaceful state, similar to watching waves on a beach or flames in a fireplace. Part 2. Deeper into the fields. The sun has set completely now. The last traces of orange and pink fade from the western sky, replaced by deep blue that darkens toward black. Stars begin to appear, first one, then two, then dozens, then hundreds. They sparkle like tiny diamonds scattered across velvet. The moon rises in the east, a pale silver disk that climbs slowly above the horizon. Moonlight transforms the lavender fields. The purple flowers turn silver gray, mysterious and beautiful. Shadows pool between the rows, deep and soft. The path ahead glows faintly in the lunar light, easy to follow. You continue walking, your steps slow and measured. Each footfall brings you further into tranquility. The night air grows cooler. A gentle chill touches your skin, but the lavender fields seem to hold warmth from the day. The scent of lavender grows even more pronounced in the cool air. Fragrance molecules move differently in these conditions, lingering close to the ground. Walking through the fields, you move through layers of perfume, each breath bringing the calming aroma deep into your lungs. Your mind drifts to thoughts of sleep. Lavender and sleep share a connection that humans have recognized for thousands of years. The link exists in the chemistry of the plant and the biology of your brain. When you breathe lavender scent, specific compounds enter your body through your nose. These compounds travel along neural pathways to regions of your brain that control wakefulness and rest. One compound in particular, called linalool, has powerful effects on your nervous system. Scientists have studied linalool extensively. They have discovered that it acts on neurotransmitters in your brain, particularly one called GABA. GABA functions as a natural calming agent in your nervous system. It reduces the activity of neurons that create alertness and anxiety. When linalool from lavender enters your system, it enhances GABA's effects, helping your brain transition from wakefulness to sleep. Another compound, linalool acetate, works alongside linalool. This substance has mild sedative properties. It helps slow your heart rate and lower your blood pressure. Together, these compounds create a gentle, natural pathway toward rest. They do not force sleep upon you like pharmaceutical drugs. Instead, they simply make it easier for your body to follow its natural inclination toward sleep when night falls. Traditional cultures understood this connection even without modern scientific knowledge. They observed that people who kept lavender near their beds slept more soundly. They noticed that children who bathed in lavender water settled more easily into sleep. They saw that elderly people troubled by insomnia found relief when they breathed lavender fragrance before bed. In Tudor England, Queen Elizabeth I loved lavender. She demanded that fresh lavender be available at all times. She drank lavender tea daily. She requested that lavender conserve be served with her meals. Her ladies prepared lavender water to scent her clothing and linens. The Queen believed lavender kept her mind sharp and her spirits calm. During the same period, common people in England grew lavender in cottage gardens. They called it nard or spikenard, old names that connected the plant to biblical traditions. They harvested lavender flowers on sunny July mornings, when the oils reached their highest concentration. They tied the stems in bundles and hung them upside down in attics and sheds to dry. Once dried, the lavender found countless uses. Housewives stripped the flowers from their stems and filled small cloth bags, creating sachets. These sachets went everywhere, into drawers, into closets, under pillows, into pockets. People carried lavender sachets to ward off the foul smells of crowded towns and cities. They held sachets to their noses when walking through markets or traveling in coaches. In the 17th century, London suffered repeated outbreaks of plague. During these terrifying times, people turned to lavender for protection. They believed strong scents could purify air and prevent disease. Street vendors sold bunches of lavender outside homes where plague victims lay dying. People burned lavender in their houses, filling rooms with smoke. They wore lavender flowers pinned to their clothing. Whether these practices actually prevented plague remains uncertain, but they provided psychological comfort during times of great fear. The path winds on through the moonlit fields. Your eyes have adjusted to the darkness. You can see quite clearly now, even though night has fallen completely. The moon provides generous light, turning the landscape into a study in silver and shadow. The lavender plants cast long, soft shadows across the path. These shadows shift slightly when the breeze moves the plants, creating an effect like gentle waves washing over the ground. You notice how quiet the night has become. The birds have finished their evening songs. The insects have settled for the night. Only the sound of wind through lavender stems remains, a soft susurration that sounds almost like the ocean heard from a great distance. This sound comforts you. It fills the silence without disturbing the peace. In Provence, lavender cultivation reached its height during the 19th century. The region's climate proved perfect for lavender: hot, dry summers and mild winters, rocky soil and abundant sunshine. Farmers dedicated entire hillsides to lavender cultivation. The purple fields became synonymous with Provence itself, appearing in paintings, poetry, and songs. Lavender harvest in Provence became a community event. When the flowers reached their peak, usually in July, entire villages turned out to help with cutting. Workers moved through the rows with small sickles, cutting the stems just below the flowers. They tied the cut stems into bundles and loaded them onto wagons. The air filled with lavender scents so strong it seemed almost visible, like purple mist hanging over the fields. The harvested lavender went to distilleries, where workers extracted its essential oil. The traditional method involved placing lavender flowers in large copper stills along with water. Fire heated the stills, and steam rose through the flowers, carrying the essential oils with it. The steam then passed through cooling coils, where it condensed back into liquid. This liquid separated into two layers, water below and essential oil floating on top. The essential oil, precious, concentrated, and valuable, was collected carefully in bottles. A huge quantity of lavender flowers yielded only a small amount of oil. Farmers needed approximately 200 pounds of lavender flowers to produce just 1 pound of essential oil. This ratio made lavender oil expensive and treasured. Perfumers in Paris and Grasse coveted lavender oil from Provence. They incorporated it into their fragrances, blending it with rose, jasmine, bergamot, and other scents. Lavender added a clean, fresh note to perfumes. It balanced heavier floral scents and gave fragrances a natural, outdoor quality. The perfume industry transformed lavender from a simple medicinal herb into a luxury product. Wealthy women across Europe wore perfumes containing lavender. They purchased lavender water to splash on their skin. They bought lavender soaps and lavender-scented cosmetics. Lavender became associated with elegance, cleanliness, and refinement. Your feet carry you forward along the moonlit path. You realize you have been walking for some time, yet you feel no fatigue. The act of walking through these fields refreshes rather than tires you. Each step takes you further into calm. Each breath of lavender-scented air deepens your relaxation. Around you, the lavender fields stretch endlessly in all directions. You wonder how large these fields truly are. They seem to extend to the horizons on every side. Perhaps these fields have no borders. Perhaps you could walk through them forever, always finding new rows of purple blooms, always discovering the path continuing ahead of you. The moon climbs higher in the sky. Its light grows stronger, casting everything in silver luminescence. Individual lavender flowers become visible again, each tiny bloom distinct in the moonlight. You stop walking for a moment and kneel beside the path. You look closely at a single lavender plant. The plant consists of a woody base from which multiple stems grow upward. Each stem branches into smaller stems near the top. These small stems terminate in flower spikes, dense clusters of tiny individual flowers. Each flower measures only a few millimeters across. Each has a tubular shape and delicate petals. Hundreds of these tiny flowers cover each plant. You breathe deeply, your face close to the blooms. The scent overwhelms you in the most pleasant way. This close, you can detect individual notes in the fragrance: the sweetness, the slight bitterness, the herbal quality, the floral softness. All of these elements blend into the complex aroma you recognize as lavender. Standing again, you continue your walk. The path leads you slightly upward now. You climb a gentle slope, the lavender plants rising on either side. As you ascend, you notice the field stretching out behind you, rolling away into the distance. From this elevated position, you can see the full extent of the lavender planting. Rows upon rows of purple plants create stripes across the landscape. The pattern seems to go on forever. Ahead, the path crests the hill and descends the far side. You reach the top and pause. Before you lies a valley filled entirely with lavender. The valley floor spreads wide, containing field after field of purple blooms. Hills rise on the far side, also covered in lavender. The moon hangs above this scene, bathing everything in soft light. The sight takes your breath away. Beauty this peaceful seems almost unreal. You stand still, drinking in the view, letting it fill your eyes and mind. Time seems to pause. Nothing moves except the gentle sway of lavender in the breeze. Nothing sounds except the quiet whisper of wind through flowers. Part 3. The Heart of Night. You descend into the valley, following the path downward. The walk becomes effortless. Your legs carry you forward without thought or effort. Your mind floats in a state between waking and dreaming. Images drift through your thoughts: purple flowers, silver moonlight, distant hills, endless fields. The history of lavender mingles with the present moment in your mind. You think of Roman soldiers bathing in lavender water. You think of medieval monks tending their garden plots. You think of Queen Elizabeth demanding fresh lavender for her table. You think of Provençal farmers loading wagons with purple bundles. All of these people walked through lavender fields, breathed lavender scent, experienced the plant's calming effects. They felt what you feel now, this loosening of tension, this gentle drowsiness, this peaceful contentment. Lavender creates a bridge across time, connecting past to present through sensation and scent. The Romans who first named the plant, the monks who first cultivated it systematically, the farmers who perfected its cultivation, they all share this experience with you across the centuries. Different cultures around the world have incorporated lavender into their traditions. In ancient Egypt, priests used lavender in mummification processes. Archaeologists discovered traces of lavender in the tombs of pharaohs. The Egyptians valued lavender for its preservative properties and its pleasant scent. They included it among the precious substances they believed the dead would need in the afterlife. In ancient Greece, healers prescribed lavender for various ailments. Dioscorides, a Greek physician who served in Roman armies, wrote about lavender in his medical texts. He recommended it for digestive troubles, for headaches, for chest pains. His writings influenced medical practice for more than 1,000 years. Persian and Arabian physicians incorporated lavender into their medical traditions. Avicenna, the great Persian polymath, described lavender's properties in his medical encyclopedia. He noted its ability to calm the heart and clear the head. His writings spread throughout the Islamic world and eventually reached Europe, where they influenced European medical practice during the Middle Ages. In India, practitioners of Ayurvedic medicine used lavender as a cooling herb. They believed it balanced the body's internal heat, calming excess pitta energy. They prescribed lavender for conditions related to overheating, inflammation, fever, irritability. They combined lavender with other herbs in carefully balanced formulas designed to restore harmony to the body. Traditional Chinese medicine incorporated lavender as well, though it arrived in China relatively late. Chinese physicians classified lavender as a cooling, calming herb that soothed the liver and calmed the spirit. They used it to treat insomnia, anxiety, and stress-related disorders. They combined it with other herbs in formulas designed to harmonize the body's energy. You walk through the valley floor, surrounded on all sides by lavender. The path here runs straight and level. Walking becomes almost meditative. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Each step matches your breathing. Inhale, exhale, step, step. The rhythm lulls you deeper into tranquility. The moon reaches its zenith, hanging directly overhead. Its light falls straight down, eliminating most shadows. The lavender fields glow with an almost supernatural radiance. Everything appears crisp and clear, yet dreamlike at the same time. You wonder if you might be dreaming already. Perhaps sleep has crept up on you so gently that you failed to notice the transition from waking to dreaming. But you feel the ground beneath your feet. You feel the cool air on your skin. You smell the lavender perfume with each breath. These sensations confirm your wakefulness, though barely. You exist in that liminal state between consciousness and sleep, that twilight zone where the boundaries blur and anything seems possible. Scientific studies have confirmed what traditional wisdom always knew: lavender truly does promote sleep. Researchers have conducted numerous experiments, measuring brain waves of people exposed to lavender scent. The results show consistent patterns. Lavender increases the percentage of time spent in deep, slow-wave sleep. It increases the time spent in REM sleep, the dream stage. It reduces the time needed to fall asleep. It decreases nighttime awakenings. One study examined elderly patients in nursing homes who had difficulty sleeping. Researchers divided the patients into two groups. One group received lavender aromatherapy before bed, either through diffusers in their rooms or through lavender sachets placed near their pillows. The control group received no aromatherapy. After several weeks, the lavender group showed significant improvements in sleep quality, sleep duration, and daytime alertness. Many patients who had relied on sleeping medications found they could reduce or eliminate their medication use. Another study focused on mothers with newborn babies. New mothers often experience sleep disruption and stress. Researchers provided one group of mothers with lavender aromatherapy. These mothers reported better sleep quality, lower stress levels, and improved mood compared to mothers who did not receive aromatherapy. Their babies also seemed to sleep more peacefully. Hospital studies have shown that patients recovering from surgery sleep better when their rooms contain lavender scent. They require less pain medication. They report lower anxiety levels. They show lower blood pressure and heart rates. The presence of lavender creates a more healing environment. These scientific findings validate centuries of traditional use. They explain why your grandmother might have placed lavender under your pillow when you were young. They explain why hotels sometimes place lavender sachets in their rooms. They explain why spas use lavender in their treatments. The modern studies simply confirm what people have always known through experience. Lavender helps you rest. The path begins to climb again, leading you up the far side of the valley. You ascend slowly, pausing occasionally to look back at the lavender-filled vale below. From this height, the valley resembles a bowl filled with purple flowers, a giant offering to the night sky. You think about the symbolic meanings people have attached to lavender over the centuries. In the Victorian language of flowers, lavender symbolized devotion and virtue. A gift of lavender conveyed the message, "I admire your devotion," or "Your silence is admired." Victorians, who communicated through flowers because social conventions limited open expression of feelings, used lavender to express sentiments that words could not. In medieval Christianity, lavender became associated with the Virgin Mary. Legend claimed that Mary laid baby Jesus's clothes on a lavender bush to dry, and the plant retained a special blessing thereafter. Monks planted lavender in monastery gardens partially because of this holy association. The plant's purity of scent seemed to reflect spiritual purity. Folk traditions in various countries connected lavender with protection and love. People hung lavender over doorways to keep evil spirits away. They tucked lavender into children's clothing to protect them from harm. Young women placed lavender under their pillows on Midsummer's Eve, believing they would dream of their future husbands. Brides carried lavender in their bouquets to ensure a happy marriage. The tradition continues today in some regions. Lavender oil featured in love potions and charms. People believed that anointing oneself with lavender oil made one more attractive and charming. They added lavender to bath water before important social occasions. They dabbed lavender water behind their ears like perfume. Whether lavender truly increased romantic attraction remains questionable, but it certainly made people smell pleasant, which likely helped. The associations between lavender and cleanliness, purity, and freshness made it a favorite for household use. The name itself, derived from to wash, reinforced this connection. Lavender represented domestic virtue, orderliness, and respectability. A home that smelled of lavender was a well-kept home, managed by a diligent housewife. These symbolic meanings accumulated over time, each generation adding layers of association to the plant. Today, lavender carries all of these meanings simultaneously. It represents cleanliness and virtue, love and protection, calm and healing, domesticity and tradition. When you smell lavender, you activate not just your olfactory receptors but centuries of human cultural memory. You reach the top of the hill and find yourself on a plateau. The path levels out, running across flat ground. On this plateau, the lavender grows even more abundantly. The plants here look older, more established, with thicker woody bases and more flowering stems. These mature plants probably have grown here for many years, possibly decades. Lavender plants can live for a long time if cared for properly. Some plants survive for 20 years or more. They grow slowly but steadily, their woody bases becoming more gnarled and interesting with age. Farmers prune lavender carefully each year, cutting back the previous year's growth to encourage new shoots. This pruning keeps the plants vigorous and productive. Without human cultivation and care, lavender eventually becomes wild. The neat rows blur as some plants grow more vigorously than others. Seeds fall and germinate in random locations. Within a few years, an abandoned lavender field transforms into a purple wilderness, beautiful in a different way than the ordered rows of cultivated fields. Wild lavender grows across the Mediterranean region, on hillsides and mountain slopes. These wild plants tend to be smaller and scruffier than cultivated varieties, but they possess intense fragrance. Their essential oil content often exceeds that of cultivated plants. Perfumers sometimes prefer wild lavender oil for its strong, complex aroma. You continue across the plateau, your feet moving automatically. Your eyes drift half-closed. The moon casts your shadow on the path ahead of you, a dark silhouette surrounded by silver light. You watch your shadow walk, and the sight seems curious and interesting in a dreamy, detached way. Thoughts float through your mind like clouds. You think about how lavender connects earth and air, body and mind, past and present. Its roots dig deep into soil, anchoring the plant firmly to earth. Its flowers reach upward toward sky, releasing fragrance into air. Its oils affect your physical body, slowing heart rate, lowering blood pressure, relaxing muscles. At the same time, its scent affects your mind, calming thoughts, easing worries, encouraging peace. This dual action makes lavender particularly effective for stress-related conditions. Modern life creates stress primarily through mental and emotional challenges. Your body responds to these challenges with physical reactions: increased heart rate, elevated cortisol levels, muscle tension, shallow breathing. These physical responses prepare you for action, but when no action is possible or appropriate, they simply leave you feeling tense and exhausted. Lavender addresses both aspects of stress simultaneously. Its fragrance calms your mind, reducing anxiety and promoting peaceful thoughts. Its chemical compounds relax your body, releasing muscle tension and slowing your heart rate. By working on both mind and body at once, lavender provides comprehensive stress relief. Part 4. The Edge of Sleep. The path descends from the plateau, winding down toward lower ground. You follow it without question or thought. The way ahead seems clear and inevitable. You will follow this path wherever it leads, through endless fields of lavender, under the eternal moon, breathing the calming scent with each slow breath. Hills rise in the distance on all sides now. These hills glow silver in the moonlight, their lavender-covered slopes creating layers of light and shadow. The landscape seems vast and limitless. You could walk forever through this peaceful place and never reach an end. Yet you feel no anxiety about being lost. The path knows where it goes. You trust the path. You trust the lavender. You trust the night. Everything feels right and safe and good. Lavender farming has evolved over the centuries, but certain essential practices remain unchanged. Farmers still plant lavender in spring or early autumn, when soil temperatures are moderate. They still space the plants carefully to allow good air circulation. They still prune annually to maintain plant health. They still harvest at the moment of peak bloom, when essential oil content reaches its maximum. Modern technology has changed some aspects of lavender cultivation. Mechanical harvesters can now cut lavender much faster than human workers with sickles. These machines look like modified lawn mowers or combines. They roll through the lavender rows, cutting stems and bundling them automatically. However, Some farmers still prefer traditional hand harvesting, believing it produces better quality. Essential oil extraction has also modernized. While some distilleries still use traditional copper stills heated by wood fires, most now use stainless steel equipment and precisely controlled temperatures. Computer systems monitor and control every aspect of the distillation process, ensuring consistent quality. Yet the basic principle remains the same. Steam carries the essential oils from the flowers, and cooling condenses the steam back to liquid, separating oil from water. The global lavender industry now extends far beyond province. Bulgaria has become a major lavender producer, particularly of lavender oil. The country's climate and soil suit lavender cultivation perfectly. Bulgarian lavender oil has earned recognition for its high quality. China has also begun growing lavender commercially, particularly in the Xinjiang region. Japan cultivates lavender on the island of Hokkaido, where fields of purple flowers attract tourists each summer. Even unexpected locations have started growing lavender. Parts of the United States, particularly Oregon, Washington, and Texas, now support commercial lavender farms. Australia and New Zealand have developing lavender industries. Kenya and India have begun cultivating lavender for essential oil production. Lavender has spread across the globe, adapting to local conditions while maintaining its essential characteristics. This spread means lavender products have become more available and affordable. You can now purchase lavender essential oil, lavender soap, lavender tea, and lavender sachets in most countries. The increasing availability has introduced more people to lavender's benefits. The ancient Roman practice of bathing in lavender water continues in modern spas. The medieval tradition of lavender sachets continues in bedrooms around the world. The wisdom of the past has become accessible to the present. You realize the path has led you to a small grove of trees. The lavender fields open up here, creating a clearing. Several ancient olive trees grow in this space, their twisted trunks and silvery leaves beautiful in the moonlight. Someone has placed a simple wooden bench beneath one of the trees. You sink onto the bench gratefully. Sitting feels wonderful. You had not realized how tired your legs had become. The bench provides a perfect resting spot, positioned to overlook the lavender fields. From here, you can see the path you walked, winding through the purple rose, climbing hills, descending into valleys, finally arriving here. You breathe deeply, filling your lungs with lavender-scented air. Your body feels completely relaxed. Your muscles have released all their tension. Your shoulders droop naturally. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. Your head tips back against the tree trunk. Your eyes close. In this moment of complete rest, you understand why people have treasured lavender for thousands of years. The plant offers a simple gift: peace. In a world that often feels chaotic and stressful, lavender provides an oasis of calm. Its purple flowers, its soothing scent, its gentle effects on body and mind, all of these create a pathway to tranquility. You think about taking some lavender home with you. You could harvest a few stems from these fields. You could dry them and place them in your bedroom. Each night, their scent would help you transition from the activities of day to the rest of night. They would serve as a reminder of this walk through purple fields under silver moonlight. Or perhaps you could grow lavender yourself. The plants require little care once established. A sunny spot in your garden, well-draining soil, occasional watering. Lavender needs little else. In summer, you could watch the purple flowers bloom. You could harvest some for drying. You could leave some for bees and butterflies. Your own small lavender patch would become a private retreat, a place to sit and breathe and find peace. People have been creating small lavender gardens for centuries. Even in cities, even in small spaces, lavender grows. A single plant in a pot on a balcony can provide enough flowers for a sachet or two. A small garden bed can support several plants, enough to harvest bundles for drying. Urban gardens, community gardens, rooftop gardens, all can accommodate lavender. Growing lavender connects you to the long tradition of lavender cultivation. When you plant lavender, you join the Roman soldiers who first brought it north, the medieval monks who tended it carefully, the Provençal farmers who perfected its cultivation, the modern gardeners who continue the tradition. You become part of the story. The moon has begun its descent toward the western horizon. Night approaches its deepest hour, the time when sleep comes most easily. Your eyelids grow heavier with each breath. The bench beneath you feels comfortable and supportive. The tree trunk behind your head feels solid and reliable. The lavender fields surround you with their purple presence and their calming scent. You could sleep here, you think? You could sleep in this clearing under the olive trees, surrounded by lavender fields, beneath the moon and stars. Sleep would come easily. Dreams would be peaceful. You would wake refreshed, restored, ready to walk the path back through the fields in morning light. But perhaps you should finish your journey first. Perhaps the path leads somewhere specific. Perhaps there exists something more to see, something waiting at the end of this lavender trail. Curiosity stirs within you, overcoming drowsiness momentarily. You open your eyes and stand. Your legs feel strong again after the rest. You leave the clearing, returning to the path. It continues onward, winding through more lavender fields. You follow it, trusting it will lead you where you need to go. The landscape begins to change subtly. The lavender fields thin out slightly. Other plants appear between the lavender rows: wild rosemary, thyme, sage. These Mediterranean herbs grow naturally alongside lavender in their native habitat. Their fragrances mingle with the lavender scent, creating a complex herbal bouquet. The presence of these companion herbs reminds you that lavender exists within a broader ecosystem. In the wild, lavender grows as part of a diverse plant community. It shares soil with other drought-tolerant herbs. It provides nectar for bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. Its roots help stabilize soil on hillsides. Its presence enriches the environment. This ecological role extends to cultivated fields as well. Lavender attracts beneficial insects that help control pests in nearby crops. Its deep roots improve soil structure. Its low water requirements make it suitable for regions where water is scarce. Lavender farming, when done properly, works with nature rather than against it. The path leads you to the edge of the fields. Ahead, you see where the lavender plants end and other landscape begins: rolling grassland, scattered trees, rocky outcrops. The moon hangs low in the western sky now, approaching the horizon. The eastern sky shows the faintest hint of light, the first suggestion that dawn approaches. Your journey through the lavender fields nears its conclusion. You have walked through purple rose, breathed calming fragrance, learned ancient history, understood modern science, explored cultural traditions, discovered symbolic meanings. The experience has filled your mind with peaceful images and your body with deep relaxation. You pause at the field's edge, looking back at the lavender plants one more time. They stand in their rows, purple blooms nodding gently, releasing their fragrance into the night air. These plants, ancient in tradition, rich in history, scientifically fascinating, culturally significant, continue growing, blooming, offering their gift of peace to all who pass by. The path continues beyond the fields, but your journey through lavender ends here. You have traveled far through the purple rose. You have learned much. You have experienced the plant's calming effects firsthand. Now the time has come to carry these lessons and this peace with you as you return to the world beyond the fields. Part 5. The Dawn of Rest. You stand at the border between lavender fields and the wider world. Behind you stretch the purple rose you walked through, silver in the fading moonlight. Before you lies the path leading onward, away from lavender and toward other landscapes. The moment of transition holds a certain poignancy. The sky grows lighter minute by minute. Stars fade from view as dawn approaches. The moon, having completed its journey across the night sky, settles toward the western horizon. Soon it will disappear, making way for the sun. You think about the cycle of day and night, the eternal rhythm that governs all life on earth. Lavender understands this rhythm. The plants open their flowers to the sun during the day, attracting pollinators with color and scent. At night, they rest, conserving energy, growing slowly. This natural rhythm matches your own need for activity and rest, waking and sleeping. Modern life often disrupts this natural rhythm. Electric lights allow activity at all hours. Screens emit blue light that interferes with sleep signals. Stress and stimulation continue long after the sun sets. Your body becomes confused, uncertain whether it should be awake or asleep. Sleep problems result: difficulty falling asleep, frequent waking, shallow sleep that fails to restore. Lavender helps reset this disrupted rhythm. Its scent signals to your body that the time for rest has arrived. The compounds in its essential oil activate your body's natural sleep mechanisms. Using lavender consistently, a sachet near your pillow, a drop of oil on your wrist, a cup of lavender tea before bed, can help retrain your body to recognize and respond to the sleep signal. This retraining takes time. If you have experienced sleep problems for months or years, one exposure to lavender will not solve everything. But consistent use over weeks or months can create real improvements. Your body gradually learns to associate lavender's scent with sleep. The association becomes automatic. Eventually, simply smelling lavender begins the transition toward rest. Scientists call this process conditioning. You condition your body to respond to lavender as a sleep cue. Over time, the response becomes stronger and more reliable. This conditioned response works alongside lavender's direct chemical effects on your nervous system, creating a powerful sleep aid. Traditional cultures achieved this conditioning naturally. When people used lavender consistently, in their linens, in their evening baths, under their pillows, their bodies learned the association between lavender and sleep. The practice became self-reinforcing. Lavender helped them sleep, so they continued using lavender, which strengthened the sleep association, which made the lavender more effective. You can create this same beneficial cycle in your own life. Establish a bedtime routine that includes lavender. Perhaps you spray lavender water on your pillows each evening. Perhaps you apply lavender lotion to your hands and breathe deeply before sleeping. Perhaps you keep a sachet of dried lavender near your bed, crushing it gently to release fragrance when you lie down. The specific method matters less than the consistency. Consistency allows your body to learn. When the same sensory experience, lavender scent, precedes sleep every night, your brain begins to use that experience as a cue. The scent triggers a cascade of physiological changes that prepare you for sleep. Heart rate slows. Breathing deepens. Muscle tension releases. Mind activity quiets. These changes happen automatically without conscious effort. This automatic response proves particularly valuable during periods of stress or travel. When your usual sleep environment changes, a hotel room, a relative's guest room, a hospital bed, familiar sensory cues can help you sleep despite the unfamiliar surroundings. A small lavender sachet tucked in your luggage provides a portable piece of home, a familiar scent that signals safety and rest even in strange places. The eastern sky glows brighter now. Pink and orange spread across the horizon. The few remaining stars vanish in the growing light. Birds begin their morning songs. The world prepares to wake. You realize that you feel no urge to wake with it. The night's journey through lavender fields has left you deeply relaxed and ready for sleep. Your mind feels calm and clear. Your body feels loose and comfortable. When you do sleep, it will be the deep, restorative sleep that heals and renews. Sleep performs essential functions that no other activity can replace. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissues, builds muscle, and strengthens immune system. During REM sleep, your brain processes memories, integrates learning, and solves problems. Without adequate sleep, both body and mind suffer. Lavender's ability to improve sleep quality therefore affects your overall health and well-being. Better sleep means better physical health, lower blood pressure, reduced inflammation, stronger immune function. Better sleep means better mental health, improved mood, clearer thinking, better emotional regulation. Better sleep means better performance, increased productivity, enhanced creativity, sharper focus. The benefits extend beyond the immediate effects on sleep. People who sleep well generally experience less stress. They cope better with challenges. They maintain better relationships. They make better decisions. Sleep forms the foundation of health and well-being, and anything that improves sleep, like lavender, provides benefits that ripple through every aspect of life. You turn back toward the lavender fields one final time. The growing dawn light transforms them once again. The purple flowers, silver in moonlight, now begin to show their true color. The plants emerge from night's shadows, becoming solid and real. A light morning mist hovers over the fields, caught in the low places between rows. This view, lavender fields at dawn, represents hope and renewal. The night has passed. The day arrives. The cycle continues. The plants that helped you rest through the night now prepare for another day of growth and bloom. They will be here tomorrow night and the night after, and for many nights to come, offering their gift of peace to all who seek it. You realize you will carry the memory of this night walk forever. When stress troubles you, you will remember walking through purple rows under silver moonlight. When sleep eludes you, you will remember the calming scent, the peaceful rhythm, the gentle drowsiness that grew with each step. The memory itself becomes a resource, something you can return to when you need tranquility. Memory and scent connect powerfully in the human brain. The olfactory system links directly to the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. This connection explains why scents trigger vivid memories and strong emotions. A particular perfume might remind you of someone you loved. The smell of baking bread might transport you to your grandmother's kitchen. Lavender's scent will remind you of this peaceful night walk. Creating positive associations between scent and experience serves as a practical technique for managing stress and promoting relaxation. When you combine lavender's natural calming properties with positive memories of peaceful experiences, you create a powerful tool for emotional regulation. In moments of stress, lavender's scent not only triggers the direct physiological relaxation response but also activates pleasant memories, doubling the calming effect. The sun breaks over the eastern horizon, its first rays spreading gold across the land. The lavender fields catch this light and seem to glow from within. The purple flowers, backlit by the rising sun, look luminous and magical. The mist begins to evaporate, rising in wisps that catch the sunlight. This moment, dawn in the lavender fields, marks the end of your night journey. You have walked through darkness guided by moonlight. You have breathed lavender scent and felt its calming effects. You have learned the plant's history and understood its science. You have discovered its cultural meanings and recognized its symbolic significance. Most importantly, you have experienced peace. Deep, genuine, restorative peace. The kind of peace that makes sleep possible, that makes rest real, that allows renewal and healing. This peace comes from lavender, but also from walking, from breathing, from slowing down, from being present in a beautiful place. You can recreate elements of this experience in your daily life, even without access to vast lavender fields. A small lavender plant on your windowsill, a sachet in your drawer, a few drops of essential oil on your pillow, a cup of lavender tea in the evening. These simple things bring lavender's gifts into your ordinary life. You can also recreate the mental experience, the slow walking, the deep breathing, the focus on sensory experience. A brief evening walk, even around your neighborhood. Conscious breathing exercises before bed. Mindful attention to scents, sights, and sounds. These practices enhance lavender's effects and promote sleep on their own. The combination proves most powerful. Use lavender consistently. Practice relaxation techniques. Establish regular sleep routines. Create a bedroom environment that promotes rest, cool, dark, quiet, comfortable. Allow yourself time to wind down before sleep. Limit screen time in the evening. These practices work together, each enhancing the others, creating conditions that support healthy sleep. As you stand watching the dawn break over lavender fields, you feel gratitude. Gratitude for this plant that has served humanity for thousands of years. Gratitude for the farmers who cultivate it. Gratitude for the scientists who study it. Gratitude for the tradition of knowledge passed down through generations. Gratitude for this moment of peace and beauty. The path stretches away before you, leading out of the lavender fields and back toward everyday life. But you do not feel sad to leave. You carry the experience with you, in your memory, in your understanding, in your body's relaxed state. The lavender's gift travels with you. You begin walking away from the fields, following the path as it leads toward the rising sun. The morning air feels fresh and cool. Birds sing energetically. The world wakes around you. But inside, you maintain the peace and calm collected during your night walk through lavender. This peace will help you face the day ahead with equanimity. When challenges arise, you will remember purple flowers swaying in moonlight. When stress threatens, you will remember the calming scent and the quiet rhythm of walking. When evening comes, you will remember that sleep awaits, restorative and healing, supported by lavender and by the knowledge you have gained. The journey through lavender fields ends, but the benefits continue. The effects of this night walk will remain with you long after the memory fades to a pleasant blur. You have learned something valuable about rest, about peace, about the wisdom contained in a simple plant that humans have treasured since ancient times. Lavender teaches patience. It grows slowly but steadily year after year. It teaches resilience. It thrives in harsh conditions, requiring little water or care. It teaches generosity. It offers its gifts freely to all who approach. It teaches connection. It links past to present, body to mind, human to plant world. These lessons extend beyond sleep and relaxation. They speak to broader questions about how to live. In a world that values speed, lavender reminds us to slow down. In a culture that demands constant productivity, lavender validates rest. In a society that promotes consumption, lavender demonstrates that simple, natural things provide genuine benefits. The path leads you away from the fields now. You look back one more time and see lavender stretching to the horizon, purple rose catching the morning light. The sight makes you smile. You will return someday, you think. You will walk through these fields again on some future evening, breathing the calming scent, feeling peace settle over you like a soft blanket. But for now, you carry the experience forward into your life. You carry the knowledge, the memory, the peace. You carry lavender's gifts with you, the promise of rest, the possibility of calm, the assurance that peace exists and can be found, cultivated, and maintained even in a busy, stressful world. Good night, sleep well, and remember, whenever you need calm, whenever stress overwhelms, whenever sleep seems far away, you can always return to these lavender fields in your mind. The purple flowers await you, the moonlight shines, the path stretches forward, and peace remains always available, just a breath away. Sleep peacefully.